So we have gone through fashion, music, lifestyle, having beautiful, wonderful conversation. Even, the thing about it is that I'm looking at Bukola, I'm looking at him with new eyes now. And, I didn't know this. And I'm also learning things myself. And that's what we want for every Jola woman. That you gain from these conversations, and the next time it might be you though, and we'll be learning from you. So join us on this journey next time. Married and single life. And then I think you are like a mommy in this institution. And we've all been single, we're all married. It's different phases of life, different things happening, different experiences. Carrying that lifestyle and that balance we've spoken about, learning new and being intentional, how do you carry it? And so let me ask Bukola to speak about. Bukola, which one would you speak about?
Single,
Even
though married, but
yes. And then you will cap it up with married. Before we came in, I was telling Bukola that when I speak with single ladies, I tell them, please, can you be intentional about this stage and phase you're in? Because once you get married and children start coming, things have changed totally, and then you lose yourself, and then you start to resent that you're not even living life, and then but you have all this time to live life, travel, go places, learn new things, meet new people, all within still being God's ambassador. I'm not saying do anything crazy, but I'm just saying be intentional, and then you find that that vibe you said you were giving, rather than giving a negative vibe, you attract positive vibe. People want to be your friend. People, this person knows so much. This person is just enjoying herself. I want to be in the mix with you now. And that's how you attract who you otherwise would have just been waiting, for. So Bukola, tell us more, please.
Oh, single. And I think I like the single side. I don't even need to do the married side. And why I say so is that I got married, well, what you call early. So I got married at 26, and in at least in this day and age, it's still pretty early, because most people start to get married closer to their 30s.
Yeah.
But what I realized was that even though it felt like I missed out on something, the reality about life is about being you, whole, me. I'm whole, I'm complete. So it's not like I'm waiting for something to complete me.
Absolutely.
So the minute you get into that space to say I'm whole, and so that means I would experience enjoying my company. I would experience being able to sort out financial things, being able to sort out travel, being able to do education, work, my religion, my faith, my purpose, what I'm supposed to do in life, my lifestyle, it's wholesome, and you have done whole. Then anything else that comes is almost complementary.
Absolutely.
And so there's no missing out. You're not missing out on, well, if I had a husband now, I'll do this. But you have friends. So in marriage, though I came in slightly earlier, because I had been dating for 4.5 years before that. So I'd practically been married since when I was 21.
Similar story.
22,
Yes.
When I came in there, and of course we started the whole take care of husband, take care of children. At some point I was like, I don't feel whole, even though now I'm married and now I have the 2 children. And so I was fortunate to find someone who's like a life coach to me today, Carrie. Carrie just said to me, but it's all about you first. Absolutely. Find you. Take yourself out to movies. Leave Deji for some time. Find you. Become whole in you. And then you and Deji would just... And that's what I did. So for the singles, find whole. Be whole in yourself. Do everything that you feel that the marriage is going to bring to you. You actually have it already within yourself. You have the male friends who will give you male type advice. You have the female friends who will give you female advice. You have cousins. You have, I love when I see families do this thing during Christmas where cousins,
everybody
nephews,
comes home.
Everybody comes. And you find that you had like 30 or 40 people.
Yes.
And I've attended a few of my friends on with all their family members. And That is all. As in, you have everything in that pack. Everybody that you need. You need advice on financial. His person is there. You need advice on this person is inside that family clique, and so that thing that you're actually looking for is actually not missing. You already have it. Now you can picture when two whole people now come together. Ooh,
Two
as
whole
in
people.
coming together. It's and I think that's why the Bible also says that. Yes, one is good. Two will take off. Two will take off not because they are bringing pieces and fragments. They are because the power, the multiplying effects or the multiplier effect is coming from the fact that they are whole people coming to spark off something.
Not broken, not halves.
broken, not halves, not needy. Because
Not
a lot of
needy.
times, a lot of singles we come into relationships with that neediness, and I need a companion. I need someone to help me. I need someone to carry this. So the person is already like, please,
Your load is
wait,
plenty.
your load is plenty. Let me just go. But when you come whole to that individual and the person is finding ways to complement you, then the person actually becomes more creative.
Oh, Bateo. That is so amazing. I love that.
The person
I love
becomes so
that.
creative that, oh gosh, she's already whole. So what do I do next? Oh, and then he loves fashion. Has she been to Florence? Maybe she likes bags and leather. Has she been to Florence before? And then he just happens to say, no, I haven't. That's our next point. So you take her to somewhere where she would just get lost in it. Even though she has her bags, she has her this, or she said, oh, have you met Jola? Have you seen their bags before? Oh, no, I've heard. I think I've seen it on this. No, don't think. Come, let me take you to where she's having her pop-up or whatever. So it's no longer about, and then it's fashionable. Yes, done, tick. It's now, how do I enhance that aspect? So Enene is not lacking of bag or lacking, but she's lacking of an experience that is different. And so she embraces and she loves on that person even more just from that. So you're no longer needy. But now people are looking for ways to, is the word serenade? Just make you feel, that extra feeling. So
I like
singles, be whole.
Yep.
You are actually more attractive from a position of wholeness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely well said. David, don't say anything to this. Absolutely well said. And then what do you have to say, please, on the
Honestly-
marriage? Or you have a response for her and then you can pick up the marriage aspect.
I think I'll just pick up from what she said because it's so important. Especially what you said about being needy. A lot of times we feel there's a minus because we're not married. No,
Society doesn't help.
Yes, because of that timetable we've been given and that expectation. Even my 24-year-old, my mom was like, very soon. I know we're coming for the main celebration. I had to tell her, no pressure. It's God's time. She said, hey, you want her to get married late like you. I got married at 28, So I said, Mom, just leave her to God's time. We will celebrate at God's own time. So basically, yes, we come up with this needy, atmosphere around us, right? And we take it into marriage, so a lot of times, unfortunately. So we go into marriage with an expectation. Now, the expectation is not about what you can give to the marriage. It's
It's what you
always
can
about what you can get from the marriage. So we see that on either side, whether the husband to the wife, expectation of who the wife should become is like different from who you took her to be when you were dating her. And then the wife as well, expectation from husband to you is quite different from who you knew him to be. From my own, my husband is very conservative, very introverted. He doesn't go out at night. He says the Bible says night comment when all men should sleep.
Really?
So once
When I
it's
see him, I
dark,
don't see that.
oh my God! Once it's dark, the only place to be is at home. He doesn't understand why anybody should be milling around at night.
Really?
What for? Whilst on the other side, I don't mind seeing the night light. I mean,
I love the lights.
Yes, Lagos is beautiful at night. You know, there's nothing wrong. I don't even mind a drive. Let's just do a drive and go back home. It just has that snazzy. Yeah. But you see, so so yes, I knew he was that kind of person, but my expectation was that by the time we get married, when he sees that this is,
Not bad.
a strong desire from me, he will shift ground a little bit. No, alas, my Baba Ijebu is, but I would say this. That's where it's so important to go after the heart of the person. Yes, much as he's a strong-willed person, he became a Christian from secondary school. So very, God is my best, and everything. I've seen that because I'm prioritized, he has shifted ground. He has tried to move to the middle ground, but you won't go past that middle. And then on my own part, I would say also, because you also want to invest in a happy home. You married a good person, and you don't want to belabor your own expectations on the person. You also want to shift ground a little bit, right? I can even share. I'm sure he won't be offended. Please, Tyler, don't be offended.
Please don't be offended.
Don't be offended. Sorry. So we got married.
If you're offended, I was not there.
So we got married, right? I grew up in a home where my dad, when we go to Leventis or Kingsway, he'll carry the shopping bags. But alas, I don't know whether it's a Yoruba thing,
I don't know that.
Okay. Alas, we go shopping and I'm expected to carry the shopping bag. It was at Value Mart, Akin Adeshola then. We went shopping and we paid. He paid. And then next thing, he was looking at me. I said, don't disrespect me. I actually told him, I said, are you leaving the bag for me? Please don't disrespect me here. And he was like, I'm the one you are disrespecting. What are you saying? You want me to carry? Guess what? We both left the bag there.
No.
We did though. We both left. We both left. We left our shopping. So the cashier, she had overheard our conversation, right? She thankfully she kept it. We both left it, entered the car, we didn't speak to each other, got home. Somehow a TV show appeared, we started talking over the film, and everybody forgot what happened. But the next morning, I now realized that I had more shopping in that bag than he did. I needed things, my Vito cream and all. During break time, I gingerly went to the store and picked up my shopping. After that, I said to myself, you know what, there's no need for agro over who carry shopping bag. After all, it's not a truckload of items. And so I decided, okay, if this is an expression of respect to him, I will do it, and joyfully. And so when we go shopping, I'll pick up the bag. But I can tell you that maybe that lasted a year or two. After that, of his own, before he would pick up the bag. So you see, that experience has, it taught me a lot in our relationship, in marriage. It's about giving. It's about you deciding on what your purpose for marriage is. Is it for your own benefit? Because some people get married to be married and to be tagged a Mrs. or a Mr. I have a wife. Are you married to bring out the best in the other person, to give your best to the other person? Because that's when marriage thrives, when the other person becomes your priority, right? And once you prioritize the other person, it just happens without by default, almost seamlessly, that the other person then lends to you and prioritizes you in the process. So it's so important that, and then something he always says, that love is not a feeling, it's a decision. And not just a decision, it is an action.
It's an action.
So you
Absolutely.
not only, when in marriage, we must understand it's not just about, gooey,
love you.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes I do have mentees. Sometimes they come to me, oh, he did this. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get bored with it. He did this, he did that. What did you do? How did you respond? You know, what has been your experience in the past over this kind of incidents? How have you handled it? Have you handled it from a position of love or from a position of entitlement? A lot of times we feel, oh, you ought to, you should, what about you? What are you giving to the relationship? I remember once upon a time I reported my husband to I would say our mother in Christ, that he doesn't like taking me out, or I miss this show. I wanted to go. I think there was one artist that I really wanted to go out. I missed this show. He wasn't interested. He said it would be too rowdy. She said, Nini, that's your own husband. Sure, you chose him. Abi, look for a way to make it work for both of you. And that day, you know, much as I wasn't happy, I was hoping she would go and scold him. Much as I wasn't happy, but she gave me it was golden. Because that day I just said to myself, Inini, amongst everything that's working, this is the one thing you now want to use as an excuse to create a problem. The truth is, if you look at the whole, if you look at the whole 9 yards, if this is the bit you have to give of yourself to make sure that everything else is working, why not? And guess what? Like I said, the more you give, somehow the more you draw the other person in. So it's about us seeing that we are not the priority in that relationship, but who we are to the other person, how we prioritize the other person.
You know, one Bible phrase has been going through my mind through all of this, and it is what the Christian faith is centered on. Love God with all your heart, and all your mind.
Yes.
And love your neighbor as yourself.
Yes.
Because through that, truly, when you give of that love, the same way God and Christ has given their love, you find that you don't want to do anything to upset that person.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you love that person.
Yeah.
Likewise, the other person won't
Yes.
want to upset you because they love you.
And even when you're offended, it is out of love you express yourself.
Absolutely.
Out of love, you want to
comes out
seek
different.
redress.
Yeah. Comes
out
Yes.
different. Yeah.
Because you're looking to bring together. While some people is like, I don't care. Yes. No, the focus should be to bring together.
Absolutely.
And then contentment.
Oh, it's key.
Because a lot of people look at the other side,
Yeah.
they look at the next person. Oh, this person is doing this. No, you're in your own marriage. After all, you know what? If that person is doing that, why don't you do it yourself? But a lot of us put that expectation on our spouses to say, if this person is doing this, that
You
person
too
is
should be
doing
doing it.
you too, you should be doing it.
If the grass is greener on the other side, put fertilizer on your own.
Bottom line. So
Bottom
contentment
line.
is key.
Nicola, are you adding to that?
I just kept saying, I was just trying to think of but the most valuable thing, honestly, at the end of the day, is that prioritization. If you prioritize the other person, not at the expense of yourself, I'm not saying kill yourself and then the person is leaving, but just that prioritization, the person sees you prioritizing them. It's very hard for someone to prioritize me, and I'll now say, oh, please, I would
very
somehow back of my mind, I'm like, the person preferred me in love day one, preferred me in love day two. By day three, the natural thing from a human point of view is to say, okay, let me try and do something back. Yes, I know that some people are takers, and but I also believe that a taker also at the end of the day would start learning, because I'm giving, I would always receive, from a natural principle of the law of sowing and reaping. But if I'm always taking, you always find that you're always somehow depleted and you're always reaching out. But the person that is giving you, how come the person always has to give me? So there's that natural law so the more I just keep sowing into that reservoir of goodness, I would always receive, because it's a principle. you actually was after a while you'll be like, wait, so because I seems to always just have to give. Okay, let me see, and then about going out, maybe just as we're talking, I was like, about going out. I also realized that if the person doesn't want to go out, you can actually say, I will spend some time with you, but I'm going to go out with Yomi for the
And then
show.
maybe I'm available. I like shows.
Yeah, for the show. Yes, So of course, you make sure you choose a person that your spouse is comfortable with, and that's what I've always done. My husband knows my inner caucus friends, and I always make sure that he's happy with them, and I can actually not be at home and they are getting on So when I now say, "Oh, you don't want to go, Abby. I know you don't want to go. You don't like this kind of things, but I'm going to go. I want to go with Janika. I want to go with Osai. I want to go with this person." He will say, "Oh, please, you guys knock
Enjoy.
yourself out." But I'm not leaving in a time when I know he needs me. So your husband needs you at a particular time, for instance. That's not the time to say you want to go out with the friends. So if it's not a time that he actually say, maybe he himself is like, please be going because I want to watch. I don't like watching what they call that thing, CSI files, and somebody died
I
and they're
love
trying to
those
find out what
ones.
the person has died. I beg, So he loves those kind of suspense. I don't like them. So in the more moments, he might be his own me time, and
Yeah.
I have my own
And it's
me
very
time.
important for each
Well,
person to
yeah.
have a me time.
Yeah.
It is very important.
It's very important.
Adds to the wholeness.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
it's very important indeed. But again, I will say to that, you can't forget who you are. So,
No, don't.
yes, in the midst of it. So, like the example you gave, I tend to prefer being in his company.
Honestly,
And then you just said no to going out with me.
yes, you just did.
I didn't. I don't mind you coming along with me.
But let me tell you what happened in my own case. I started
you
doing
know.
it, and then one day I just said, Miss, I want to go out to movie. Huh? Okay, let's go. And that's how we started. My movie nights became both of us.
Okay. So the thing is that for us, we've found a middle ground, right? So we do movie nights, we go for dinners. Once in a while, you will say, okay, let's go for it, especially the controlled shows.
What's a controlled show?
VIP sitting and
yes, So that
I get
middle,
and then it.
yeah. So that middle ground, for me, you have to know yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So initially, he gave me the go ahead. Yeah, go. I will be here praying for you and waiting for you. But then, sometimes I don't like the audience I get.
Right.
When a bunch of
when going
ladies
alone.
go out, I don't like it.
Oh, I see.
I don't like the attention, because people make assumptions. This is Lagos. And sometimes people just assume some things when they see a bunch of ladies.
Not really, though.
Not really.
I
prefer that to being alone.
No.
yeah,
Of
I
course,
would
not
know.
being
Yeah.
alone. I'm saying from my own personal experience initially. I
Where
found
are
that
you
it
going
was...
with a bunch of ladies?
Oh,
That's the
so for
question.
instance, like...
No,
for instance,
The place
Wait,
we
is it?
no, for instance, this was this bunch of ladies was one of my cousins. She was also married to somebody like my husband, Christian as well, and everything, and a friend of hers. And I think it was a show we went for the first time, and some of her colleagues was like, you people come out like this, blah, 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 blah. And of course they came around. Look, I don't like speaking English if I don't have to speak English. Do you understand? I probably am one of those very conservative when it comes to things like that. Don't talk to me if I don't need to talk to you. Do you understand? So sometimes I don't like undue, unnecessary attention. Yeah, that's just me. So you have to know who you are, So I prefer, I'm more comfortable when I go out in
With
his
your
company.
husband.
Yes.
Okay.
Some people just like being Ruth. It's okay. And
Wait,
some of us don't mind hanging out with friends and our husbands.
It's the balance.
It's the balance. It's the balance.
It's the balance.
It's absolutely the balance for me. We'll be right back.